Hello, everyone. This is the closing session of the Innovation and Translation Summit. We had an incredible 3 days, and welcome also, of course, if you're watching this live, but also if you are watching the replay of that. I have to admit that Nora and Josh and I are slightly exhausted from all the preparations and the last 3 days. But honestly, I learned so much myself, and I'm just so very thankful for everything that has happened. Everything has happened as far as we are concerned, as far as we can tell. We had incredible support by our speakers, by our panelists, and of course by you, by the attendees. So thank you so very, very much. So when we first came together, Josh and Nora and we asked ourselves, what do we have to say? Why does there need to be an Innovation and Translation Summit? And we answered that by looking at the times that we are living in, which are not regular times. Every single one of you is going to agree to that. We are in a very strange time, in hopefully the tail end of a pandemic that has really disrupted so much. We are fortunate that we are in an industry that has not been disrupted as much as other industries, but there is no doubt that we have experienced changes also, certainly for interpreters, but for translators also. And we try to address the changes by 3 different themes that we had for 3 different days. The first day had the theme, how to succeed as a language professional in a changed world. The second day addressed upskilling and reskilling for the new world. And today, which of course is still going on, you can still watch all the different panels and sessions of today, was new frontiers in translation. If you would not mind, I would love it, or we would love it, if you would share some of your favorite presentations in the chat, in the YouTube chat right now. We would love to know what those were. We also not only had sessions and panels, though, we tried to make it as interactive as possible. And the way we did that was by having 6 different networking sessions. And we had originally planned to have those networking sessions be essentially closed to non-paying members and be just open to PowerPack members. But then we had some really generous sponsors who allowed almost all of the networking sessions to be open to everyone. And I would like to mention those sponsors again. Those were Star Group, AIT, and Modern MT. And we're very, very thankful to them that they allowed those networking sessions to be open to everyone. I think that if you have taken part in one of those networking sessions, you would agree that those were successful. Those were very dynamic. We met each other, and the lovely thing was that we could then continue the relationship that we started in the networking session on the community side that we also had. And the community side, just to kind of give you an idea how successful that was, almost 700 people are on the community side, continue to be on the community side, talk on the community side, meet on the community side, et cetera, et cetera. We want to give a couple of things, of course, also not just to our sponsors, but also those people who helped us. Roxanne was incredibly helpful in putting together virtually everything. She was pulling the strings in many different places, the graphics, the materials that needed to be uploaded. She helped to coordinate our speakers. She processed videos. She did the podcast, the social media, et cetera, et cetera. So thank you very much, Roxanne, for your hard work and your help. Awesome. Giovanna, Josh and I became really close friends with Giovanna. And the reason why Nora didn't become close friends with her is because Giovanna is Nora's daughter. She did all the captions, and she, I am really proud that we had captions for all of our sessions, because I know that this has been a very international conference. We had attendees from virtually every continent, well, probably except Antarctica, and of course there's always language barriers. Captions make it so much easier to get over those language barriers. So thank you so much, Giovanna, for helping us with those captions. And then Ale was our designer. She, for instance, created this animated intro that you had at each of our sessions. So thank you very much, Ale, for helping us with that also. I want to give you
wait, Jost, I want to cut in because I'm reading all of these incredible messages on YouTube, and I just wanted to read out a few of them about what people were loving. So Carol says she loved the networking sessions. Yes, absolutely. Barbara says it was a very interesting and stimulating 3 days. Aida says she loved Madalena's, Judy's session, Dorothee's session. Mila loved Dorothee's as well. Ingrid, Madalena, Judy, Fernando, Veronica, Nora, all of the presentations. And Sarah says she loved Flora's session. And so lots of shout outs for different speakers. And I love this comment right here. I'm blown away by the summit, the speakers, and the work that you all have put into this. Thank you, from Carol. So thank you. And a shout out to the panel on pricing and the conversation on literary translation. So really a wide range of favorites all across the boards.
You know, to put together this conference, this is not, we didn't plan to say this, but you know, when Josh and Nora and I came together to put the conference together, you probably realized that this was not a conference where proposals were sent that we chose from, but we invited speakers, of course, right? So we chose speakers, and we did that because we really, well, we wanted to achieve two things. A, we of course wanted to have the best speakers possible in that specific fields, and we also wanted to find speakers who maybe were not so well known, newcomers who, you know, had an opportunity to maybe present for the very first time. And it was such a joy to look into the possibilities that we had to choose from. And there were, of course, so many more than we could choose from. And it was such a joy also to have speakers be so willing to not only create their presentations, which often, as you know, were very well done and meant a lot of time spent on those presentations, but to help us in so many other ways also, including making people aware of our event, promoting the event, etc., etc. Now, just to give you a couple of ideas how large this event has been. We had over 4,600 people register for this event. So I've been, and we all have been in the industry for a long time. I can tell you that there has not yet been an event that 4,600 people have been registered for. This has been, I think, the largest event ever happening in the translation space. And I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart to make it possible. Thank you so very much. We had over 10,000 public views on YouTube in the last 3 days. Well, actually just the first 2 days. So it'll continue to grow today. We had 30,000 unique hits on our website this week. And here are some community stats I mentioned to you. Oh, actually, I said almost 700 people in our community. No, we had almost 800 people in the community. I'm going to mention a couple of names here of the most active people. The Ana de Los Angeles Lopez who was a student scholarship winner the first day. She was the very most active person.